Hey, this is just Ben on the front end, here to tell you to give the podcast a rating if you don't mind, and follow it or subscribe to it on whatever you're listening to this on. If you want to send us an email, we'll read it and maybe talk about it on the show. It's deadensigns@gmail.com, and we got a Twitter. Anyway, if you could do all that, please. That'd be really nice. Bye, enjoy the show.
Simon & Schuster AudioWorks presents Star Trek: The Next Generation.
I had some cheese Doritos when I finished off a bag of cheese Doritos when I got in as my snack.
Yeah, and you know the ironic part about that is that
What's the ironic part?
When you said I'm ready to record, and it was before the time that you said you would be ready. Mm-hmm. I was ready. I could have walked towards my PC and start recording with you immediately. As soon as you messaged me.
As soon as I said okay, ready whenever.
Yeah, but I had a bag of crisps, so I started eating that bag of crisps instead.
I don't think that's irony. I think that's a coincidence.
I think
that's I think that's a coincidence.
It's just when
people don't get it. Irony and coincidence are so easy.
It's like literally, it's like that. That's the way I use it,
Bro, it was like so ironic what happened. Dude, you were like, I'm ready. You were eating some crisps and saying I'm ready, and ironically, I was also ready and eating crisps.
But the thing is that I wasn't. The ironic part was that I wasn't ready.
The ironic part is that it isn't ironic.
The ironic part was that I chose the crisps over you, basically.
I was doing both. I was eating the Doritos while waiting for you to get on. Yeah. When I said, okay, ready whenever, I was eating the Doritos. But I see being in a state of eating Doritos as also being ready.
Okay.
That's still... Because it's not like I'm eating a fucking roast dinner.
Yeah, the ironic
That's not being ready.
The ironic part about this that I was thinking... today before we recorded, I was thinking of doing like a bit where I chew a chewy gum throughout the entire podcast while I record. I thought that was pretty ironic now that I was thinking about that.
Would you have done it like mouth open chewing?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I think I genuinely would have never done the podcast with you ever again. I can't. That's the number one. I'm a pretty tolerant person when it comes to audio and sound and stuff. Mm-hmm. I think that's because it all gets channeled into one thing, and that's people chewing with their mouth open.
Mm-hmm. You wouldn't see it.
I can't take it. I can't stand it. It's just so easy to close your mouth and chew. Mm-hmm. You get an exception if you have like a blocked nose and you can't breathe. But even then, you're pushing it.
You're going like...
Yeah, you're going to be like...
like a fish.
But if you're fucking like going there like...
Do you think that's what the ocean sounds
like? You know what?
Spoke fish?
Delete that, please. I don't even want me doing it in the thing, ironically. See, that was ironic.
Yeah.
How ironic that we use it correctly later on.
I can't believe this was a pretty ironic episode.
So far we've been quite ironic Ivans.
Uh-huh. Okay. Are Ivans known for being ironic?
No, it's just the alliteration mostly. But I could see somebody being called Ivan and also being quite ironic.
Ivan from Iran.
All right. Well, you don't have to make it like a geographical thing.
Ivan in Iran.
Okay. He's not from Iran, though, is he?
With his mouth open. And he goes...
Okay. All right. Sure.
Yeah. All right, but
I don't know where you were going with that.
I don't know. I just wanted to start saying things like that. I just felt like it. Like that's the thing. It was a very hedonistic experience for me.
It was very self-indulgent.
Yeah.
That could be a good vocal exercise, though. Ironic Ivan in Iran. Ironic Ivan in Iran.
I wonder what he's doing in Iran.
Oh, well, you don't want to know.
You don't want to know.
Bro, it is so fucking hot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's also hot here in Argentina, I think. That's what we established I'm in. I think.
You're in the Falklands.
Falklands, yeah.
Which is near Argentina.
Yeah,
oh, no, you were stopping off in the Falklands on your way to Argentina, I think. So, yeah, you're in Argentina.
Yeah.
Or you were, at least. Who knows now?
Yeah, I'm on undisclosed location. I'm in one of those, like, you know how, like, CIA has, like a big warehouse, and they'll have a house inside.
Site.
Yeah, and they'll have a house inside of it, so they can, like, interview people in there, and they're like, I'm inside a house, a cabin in the woods.
Or, like, they have Ted Kaczynski's cabin in the warehouse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, that's such a control thing, you know?
I was just about to say, the thing is, Ted Kaczynski died, people started sharing that picture about how, the picture of his log cabin or whatever in a warehouse, in like a big empty white warehouse.
Yeah.
And one of the fucking, like, developers of Control retweeted it saying this was a very, very important image for me while I was developing Control. Because that's the exact kind of vibe that the game has.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I
guess game why. John Wake 2 comes out next month as well.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to stream
Alan Wake, not John Wake.
John Wake. John Wake.
John Wake.
They killed my dog, but also my wife. I'm a writer.
I'm trying to find my dog. I'm an assassin writer. I'm trying to find my dog. They killed my wife, and I'm finding my dog.
Yeah. Then my dog is in the lake.
Instead of like a manuscript, it's like little bullets that he's finding with stuff written on them.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like with names, and uses the bullets to kill the people that the names are.
That's how he knows who he's supposed to be killing, because of the Stephen King haunted typewriter.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense.
He's there's a guy. He's like, please don't kill me. Well, I have a bullet with your name on it, and he blows his brains out.
I have a bullet with your name on it.
It's been written, or some. I don't know.
I don't want to do this.
He kills them. Yeah, and then at the end, irony.
Yeah.
There's a name with his name on it. There's a bullet with his name on it. So I gotta kill myself.
That is some cruel irony. Some cruel irony. It's like a Looper situation.
Yeah, it is. Oh, fuck.
Bit of pulling a Looper on himself.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna. If I ever have to talk about somebody shooting themselves from now on, I'm gonna say they're pulling a Looper.
They
kind of did. They did a Looper on themselves. They looped themselves. Yeah.
I like the idea of this is the way you cope. That's you don't they didn't had issues that they couldn't resolve. No, they were trying to stop themselves.
They had to close the loop.
They had to close the loop.
Yeah, they got one of those weird big shotguns that they have in that movie.
The blunderbusses, yeah.
The blunderbusses, and then he held it up against his stomach and fired. And he looped himself.
I like the idea that, in the future, the weaponry just gets worse. Instead of getting, more highly advanced, it just gets worse. But it's, not even, a reliable sword. It becomes, a musket or something like that, that you have to reload,
It doesn't become the trusty sword.
Yeah, it's a gun that has
the treacherous pistola.
Yeah, it's a musket, and it has a Rubik's Cube or something that you have to solve each time that you want to shoot it or something,
Yeah, that seems like a good premise for a young adult sci-fi. The aspect of the world is that they all have guns where you have to solve a puzzle to fire it because of the evil government limiting how people can use the guns to protect others.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a series, and it's in cinemas already. Actually,
yeah, they've already made a movie of it. It's called The First Divergent. It's called The First Divergent.
It's called... Yes, it is, yeah. It's
and then
called
the second book is called The Second Divergent.
Mm-hmm.
And then the
Hunger
third
Games,
book is called The Second Divergent Part 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what it is. I would make billions when they pay me for this.
I feel like we could write it out pretty quickly too. The First Divergent.
Yeah.
Make it like have very heavy, like conservative undertones.
Oh yeah, you want to become a grifter already? We barely started making this podcast, and we already become conservative grifters.
Well, you know how as society goes forward and it begins to fall apart around us, people become disillusioned, younger and younger as it goes on. Yeah, that's basically how it is.
Mm. That's very ironic.
Maybe I would have done. Maybe this would make more sense to do this in 10 years' time. But I'm like, nah, I've got no faith.
I'll
be a conservative young adult author.
Yeah, exactly.
And write the first Divergent, the second Divergent, and the second Divergent Part 2, and then the prequel book, the predecessor Divergent. And nobody buys that one because the name is really bad.
Before Diverging.
Before Divergent.
Yeah. Before. No, you're being divergent.
Now, what would the premise be? I feel like the divergents need to be like a specific, like, Ayn Rand, Atlas Shrugged style, like, people that can solve problems but are being limited.
Yeah.
They're being held back.
Yeah, they have ideas how to solve problems.
Ideas, and they're being told they can't put them into practice.
Yeah, it would
and
be
they're
like...
seen as divergent because they're trying to divert society into a more prosperous future.
Are you doing a bit that you're calling it Divergent, or do you really not know that there's a series called Divergent already?
I don't know. Why would I know anything about young adult shit? You think I'm sitting here going like, after I'm done with The Maze Runner, I think I'll read Hunger Games again.
I read the first Hunger Games.
Okay.
When I was a young adult.
I read Dark Tower instead.
But when you were an adult, though.
Which is like a young adult novel, except it's more violent and they say swears.
And you shoot with your heart.
But generally, it's basically kind of like a young adult novel.
Yeah, you know. I don't know where Stephen King was when he was writing Dark Tower.
Half like ankle deep in a pile of cocaine, I guess. Ankle deep isn't very far.
It's not very.
He was like nipple deep in a pile of cocaine.
Yeah.
While he was just writing out that manuscript,
absorbing through his skin as he's writing.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't absorb very well because isn't it the thing with cocaine? It needs to touch the like pink flesh, right?
Yeah.
That's why it's like the gums and the nose and shit.
But he was so high,
Not that I didn't realize. He didn't even realize it wasn't working because he was so high.
Yeah. Because he was like, that's what turned him around because he was using it wrong. He was like, I want to get so high, I'm gonna be nipple deep in this cocaine.
I'm gonna lay in a pile of cocaine and get so high.
And then he sobers up while he was lying in the cocaine pile, and he was like, "Oh, maybe I should stop doing this."
Oh God, what have I done?
What an ironic.
He's never actually done cocaine. He just thinks that's how you do it. Like you just roll around in it. You don't actually ingest it in any way.
Yeah, you do.
And he's like, "Oh God, what am I doing?"
Snow angels in the cocaine.
Yeah. He's like, "Oh, this feels so good. I think this feels so great."
Stephen King placeboed himself into thinking he's high on cocaine.
I'm getting an idea about an evil clown. It's all of this cocaine I'm rolling around.
And there's children and they have an
children
orgy.
Have sex and then they're older and they have to stop the clown a second time.
No,
for real.
He's back.
I need to stop this cocaine. It's making me crazy. I'm getting a new idea. There's a guy with a gun and he's in a world that's weird. And he has to shoot people. Oh no.
He shoots with his heart.
What if there were weird vampires that sucked? Oh no!
Oh yeah, I forgot that you told me that they're the same fucking guys from Dark Tower. The guys from Dr.
Every
Sleep.
the point of the Dark Tower is that it's the Stephen King cinematic universe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, is
Literary
this Pet
universe,
Cemetery in there too?
Not that I'm aware of, but I don't think it would be very hard to connect.
Yeah,
That's the Pet Cemetery itself. The location where they use to bring people back to life is on the path of the beam, and that's why it's it's so strong.
Yeah,
it's a divergent point between worlds.
And do you think Stephen King will allow us to add the divergent?
The first Divergent.
It's in the first Divergent.
What is this other book that you're telling me about? That there's a young adult series.
There's already a movie based on it
called?
too. Divergent.
It's just called Divergent.
Yeah, type it in.
Well, that's fine. We can
just steal it. Yeah, you like.
Well, it's more like it's just a word. It's directed by Neil Burger.
It does sound like a fake person. Maybe we can sneak our way into using Divergent, and no one will realize.
Neil Burger is the guy that made Limitless movie.
Yeah, well,
Bro, let's go. What's he making now? He's made The Marsh King's Daughter.
Marsh King's Daughter.
That's coming out this year. The Voyagers.
Does it have William Dafoe in it for some reason?
Upside. What, The Marsh King's Daughter?
Yeah, it sounds like something.
Got Ben Mendelsohn in it and Daisy Ridley.
Oh, Daisy Ridley is in it.
Daisy Ridley in it as Helena Pelletier.
Okay.
What's the premise for this movie?
Good that she's still playing in movies.
Dude, it comes out in a month. It comes out next month, October 6th.
Wait a minute. Welcome, everybody. This is Dead Ensigns, the #1 ironic general media and Star Trek related podcast.
The Marsh King's Daughter. Helena must confront a buried past when her estranged father breaks out of prison. 2 years before she was born, the Marsh King abducted her mother, and she spent her childhood in captivity.
Mm-hmm.
Now convinced he will try to take her daughters, Helena sets out to outmaneuver the man who taught her everything she knows about surviving in the wilderness.
Okay, so he's like a huntsman. He's like a guy that stole her or whatever. Oh,
I think he stole her mother and had her abducted her mother.
Mm-hmm.
And
he hung herself.
It's kind of like a Brie Larson Room type deal.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Except, what if the kid in Room was also taught about being Rambo and became Rambo?
Yeah, that would be interesting. So maybe
and then he grew up, and he had to and his abductor, rapist father got out of prison and started hunting him down, and he had to protect his children from being abducted by the abductor.
This is
using the skills that he was taught about being Rambo.
By the rapist.
I'm Ben, this is Max. I just had to get the Marsh King's Daughter. It's based on a book.
That's the thing is, Ben, it was just there and it was about to expire, and Ben had to read it instead of letting me finish.
There's a countdown on the Wikipedia page saying we're deleting this in 3 seconds. Read it if you're reading this now. Fucking Neil Burger has his own little, every now and then they'll have those little sections at the bottom of Wikipedia where it's every type of dog in United States, and it's just links to every type of dog or whatever.
Yeah,
he's got his own one where it's films directed by Neil Burger. They're all right here.
Oh, nice.
I could tell you about The Illusionist.
I remember The Illusionist.
Limitless. I still love the end of Limitless. Is so good, man.
Yeah,
so
it's
good.
Pretty ironic.
Yeah, I just took more of the drug, and it made me smart enough to make a version of the drug with no downsides. It lasts forever, so
yeah,
it's fine. End of the movie. The end.
But then that guy that dies, he drinks the blood of. He wasn't smart enough, even with the Limitless drug, to just make a better version of the Limitless drug,
Uh-huh.
He was just an asshole.
He was too stupid.
Yeah. I like the idea of like, even with the limitless drugs, some people are just smart. You know?
Yeah. Well, it's just like it heightens your senses, but it's like if you have a base intelligence of like
a rat.
9 and the other person has a base intelligence of 8, you both take the limitless drug, you're going to be smarter than everybody else still, but there's still one guy who's going to be smarter than the other in this situation.
And then you realize, you get pretty like self-conscious about that too.
I think the Divergent series of movies got quiet cancelled, so we can like, yeah, we can steal
we
this.
could do that. Yeah,
well, there was another movie they were making called the Divergent series Ascendant. But the most recent update on that is sources close to the production have said that due to COVID-19 outbreak and waning network interest in the project, it is uncertain if the series will ever be completed.
And also, all the writers that wrote that shit series are also striking right now. So
yeah, we can take this.
Yeah, the rogue takeover of a series.
What's happening with the live action Akira? Is that still a thing?
I like the idea of like a series that nobody cares. So people didn't care about it so much that you can just hostile take over it without like legal repercussion of any sort. You know, or like you fucking start releasing stuff in that series, and then the original studio is like, wait, that's ours.
Hey,
and
hold on a minute.
And then you go like, all right, yeah, show me where it is. Where do you have it? Yeah, and they're like, it was somewhere. That's just like it's gone.
When was the last time you made one?
Yeah, where was it? And it's like the wiki page just being scraped by you, deleted. You know, just so you.
There's no Wikipedia page, and there's no IMDb page.
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't exist, Your Honor.
And he goes to like the DVD store, and it's like it's not there.
Brought out all of the copies in like a 3-mile radius.
Yeah, and you bury them right next to E.T., the Atari E.T. game.
Yeah.
But what was you saying? You were saying something.
What was I saying?
I don't know. You're reading something, I think.
Well, I was just reading about how, the Divergent series is done. They got rid of it. It's not so much that they said, like, we're not going to make any more of these, but they were like, nobody is watching these, and then they stopped talking about them.
Yeah, I can't believe...
And then they didn't give any more updates.
We're so good at, like, tackling subjects that in, like, the eye of the media right now. Like
the zeitgeist.
Yeah, the zeitgeist,
Well, I don't know what else we would talk about on this 11th of September, 2023.
I feel like Wilco is going under.
What's Wilco?
It's the shop chain in the Britain.
Wilco?
Yeah, is that how you read it? Wilco?
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
What do you mean Wilco?
Is that what
when you
called?
said that first? I thought you had fucked up and you meant Waynco for Waynco.
Waynco
from fucking
Wilco, right? That's what it's called.
Wilkes.
Wilco? Wilkes? Is it Wilkes?
Wilco hardware store company.
Yeah, in the UK.
Is this what you're talking about? All Wilco shops I don't.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You don't know what Wilco is, and I'm the crazy one.
I'm not so much saying you're crazy. It's more just like I don't get like. Is this in the zeitgeist?
Yeah, it is because people are losing their jobs.
Damn, further 9,100 Wilco employees to be made redundant after rescue deal collapses.
Yeah, Ben is so gone. He's
all right, then,
separate from the...
Mr. I'm in touch with the common man.
Society. The society!
Let's see what's going on in the news, and you can tell me how much of this shit you know. What's happening in...
Myanmar. A coup.
Do you know about Parliament researcher rejects China spying claims?
I've heard about that, yeah.
China spy claims. We're appalled at reports of Chinese spying.
I feel like I could make a pretty good spy, to be honest.
I feel like it's got to be such an annoying thing when people start to hear tell of like there possibly being spies, or I mean like common people just hearing that there might be spies around, and then it's like
Yeah.
You, as a politician, you have to be like, yeah, we know, but we've also got some in their countries. It's kind of just the...
It's just how it works, you know?
But you can't say that, because that kind of ruins everything.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta play along. It's like we all know everybody's got a numbers station going.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to take each other's number stations down, because then they're going to take down our one in their country, so...
Yeah.
Just kind of a mutually assured destruction type deal.
Yeah. Do you think...
So, like, the public are aware of spies now? Fuck. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. We're looking for them.
Yeah, we're always on the lookout. Do you think
picks for you, Star Trek. Okay, you talking then.
Do you think it's like it's disappointing when you're like a spy and the guy just like straight up like tells you like some secret confidential shit, like you don't even have to work for it, you know?
Yeah.
You don't get to do any of like the spy game stuff. You don't
like literally day one in the facility that you're infiltrating, and some guy is like, "Oh, hey, is this we're working on, by the way?" Like, God damn it.
Yeah, you were hoping to like get like go to like a ball or like a company like
casino
retreat or something like that. You know, like a casino royale, and big
do
casino,
like a whole playing craps and stuff, and trying to.
And there's a guy that
trying to weasel info out of somebody.
Yeah, and there's a guy that's he's crying blood, and you know, and you get, and he just tells you immediately, you know, and you're like, fuck, you know. I was hoping this is gonna be a bit of a better story, you know.
Yeah.
I was hoping to write a book about this.
I was hoping I could do this whole thing and then get back home and then become like a Tom Clancy style guy and just like rest on making a bunch of like books for the rest of my life.
Should I start reading Tom Clancy books? Like, should that be my thing? Like, that I just read Tom Clancy books from now on, and I just,
I guess,
and I just review them. Like, I learn about them, and I become like a lore master of Tom Clancy.
Tom Clancy lore master. Well, here's the question. Would you also start playing the games to compare how accurate to the books they make them?
I wonder what games. So you only got Rainbow Six Siege. That's based on Rainbow Six series is based on Tom Clancy books, I'm pretty sure.
Anything that Ubisoft makes that says Tom Clancy's X is a Tom Clancy thing.
Ghost Recon, I think, is also
Recon, the one
Splinter Cell,
Splinter Cell, the one with where it's like post-apocalyptic New York.
Oh, the Divergent.
Divergent. Is it called Divergent? It is called Divergent. See, this is what I'm saying. It's just a word. You can use it. Anybody. We can still make First Divergent as a thing. That's fine.
We're just like trying to work ourselves like denial, and it's just too much. It's just work for the denial. Just like we can do this. We can do that. We'll just make up all this evidence that we can't do this, and no one will go after us. You know.
Yeah.
But what was you saying about Star Trek news? Because we need to put Star Trek.
It's just that Google has picks for you when it comes to news, and it says Star Trek The Next Generation scrapped a sequel to one of its best Picard plots.
What?
But they don't mean Picard the show, they mean Picard
the character?
Like a Picard storyline.
Picard,
like a Picard-centric storyline in a TNG.
Yeah, what was it?
The Inner Light is the one where he gets put in he has a whole life. The aliens are like, here, live a life on our planet. We died.
Yeah, so they nearly scrapped it and they didn't.
They did scrap a sequel to that episode.
Oh yeah,
which is a good thing, really. I feel like I don't know what you do.
I'm back.
Yeah, like what would it be like? Oh, they find out they actually survived, and then they're like, it's a whole article, and I don't want to just like read it off blind.
What do you mean? Chapo Trap House does that all the time.
Yeah, but they like read it beforehand and have at least like highlighted the points of interest, I guess.
Nah.
Whereas I would be sitting here going, the events of the Inner Light dictated that Picard essentially has 2 lifetimes worth of memories crammed into his head. Perhaps that was the source of his Irumodic syndrome. Could have been. At the end of the episode, Picard finds that he recalls his abilities to play the Catan flute, complete with all the tunes he learned over a lifetime of folk performance. The flute will come back in future episodes of next. See, this is just be me reading off Whitney Seibold's thing.
Yeah, but that's content.
Also,
right
when I listen to Chapo Trap House, and they start reading off an article, I'm sitting there going, I'm laughing so hard, I'm going like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's how hard I'm laughing at that show, you know.
It throws you back in time into the
sends me back
late
in time.
2000s.
Dude,
or
it's
whatever.
it's like, damn, these guys are like radicalizing me with comedy.
Yeah, I can't believe
insane.
that.
Who says that comedians aren't the modern day philosophers?
Yeah, exactly.
Who says that podcasters aren't the modern day Diogenes?
The modern day Times Square, the town square criers, you know,
town criers, delivering the news and perhaps even a bit more information and ideals.
Yeah, exactly. What else? What other articles do you have picked for you?
The other picked for me articles. The quest for Sky Skipper, the rarest Nintendo arcade machine in the world.
Wow.
And shocking moment, tourist jumps into Elvis Presley's swimming pool at Graceland before being kicked. ... I guess they kicked her before being kicked out. And his wife hits back at horrified fans. That's what the pool is meant for.
Oh, okay, yeah, she is right.
She's got him there.
Yeah, she's got a point.
The pool is meant for that. My husband jumped into Elvis pool.
It's a TikTok. Surgery on the grape.
I did surgery. My husband jumped into Elvis pool. My husband jumped into Elvis pool. Look at this, dude. My husband jumped into Elvis pool.
Yeah. Oh,
I love the defense of just like, that's what the pool is for?
Yeah.
Guys, that's what a pool is for? You do a cannonball, get a big splash.
Yeah.
It's fun. Would you jump into Elvis's swimming pool? And I got more for you. Star Trek veteran Cole Meany found one aspect of O'Brien wearying.
Wearying? The fact that he wanted to kill himself nearly?
Wearying.
Is that wearying enough?
Found one part of playing Chief O'Brien tiring.
The fake Irish accent he was putting on
in the franchise's history. Miles O'Brien. Meany joined Next Generation cast in the series' very first episode, spin-off. Speaking with IGN about DS9, he continued, I was fine with it. Hold on. Meany was asked how he felt about O'Brien's portrayal as a more down-to-earth, regular blue-collar character. I was very aware of it. It was always hammered home to a wearying extent sometimes, the whole blue-collar thing. So they went too far.
They went too far with portraying him as
I was fine with it. It wasn't a problem. That is who he was. But I just found it a bit odd the way people went on about it so much sometimes. There were obviously all levels and echelons in an organization like Starfleet. But yeah, I was very conscious of that. And the writers were conscious of it. And the fans were conscious of it. He was, an everyday Joe.
Right. What?
See, this is what I'm talking about with just reading off these articles. I've not proofread them. They're fucking boring as shit.
Is he complaining about the fact that O'Brien was just
He's not even complaining. He's not even complaining.
He's wearing.
He was a bit to something like he was just like, all right, I get it. He's not just a normal guy. We can stop going on about how he was just a normal guy. It's okay. It's fine. Baldur's Gate 3 players outline perfect DLC setting after heartbreaking companion story.
Yeah.
I saw a Twitter post of somebody who made a voice mod.
Yeah.
That replaces a character's lines with an AI version of the VTuber Mori Calliope.
Who the fuck is Mori Calliope?
So she's like a VTuber rapper, but she's really bad.
Oh, okay.
But she's a VTuber, so you kind of get everything you need from that.
Okay.
You know.
Is this...
Baldur's Gate 3 mods, I think, have been going a little crazy, man. I remember hearing about one where you can make Will white instead of black. Because, you know, that's just something that people like to make mods of.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
They just like to, you know, go, what if...
Are you finished with Baldur's Gate, by the way?
I only just started chapter 3.
So you're going to get your save corrupted if you play it for long enough.
Yeah, I gotta be careful, dude. Yeah,
you gotta back them up locally just to make sure.
You got like, yeah. There's like ones that add, you know, so many races and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Like racists. Adding more. Can I add more racism mod onto my Baldur's Gate campaign?
Yeah.
Can I add more sex?
Other heads for your characters?
Yeah, you were complaining about that.
Stats. You can already choose your stats.
Maybe from pre-made characters, the ones that you can pre-make.
Character creation presets, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, how was your week?
I don't know. Nothing's been going on. I went to Popeyes. In the.
You had Popeyes earlier? How did you find Popeyes?
In this undisclosed country that I'm in,
did you get a biscuit and honey?
No, I just got some.
Oh, you gotta get the biscuit.
I just got tendies because
I was like, the biscuit.
I want tendies. I want tendies right now.
How were the
good. They were just they only it's just what they do is it's like not really like a KFC, but it is a KFC. They just marinate the chicken before they deep fry it. That's basically the difference. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And
good. I might get Popeyes this week. I might go over to the Popeyes near my work. In undisclosed location.
In the United States, where Popeyes is everywhere.
And I'll have Popeyes, where the Popeyes are just all over the place.
Yeah.
In the South and whatnot.
It's the South Country, or whatever it's called, you know.
Mm-hmm. So that's all you did this whole week, is you just had some Popeyes today? Today, the 11th of September, 2023.
I passed out, and then I woke up, and I was like, "Oh, I guess I need to get some Popeyes."
You were rolling around in a pile of cocaine. And you're like, "I need to stop this. It's giving me demented thoughts, like eating Popeyes."
Yeah, and then I passed out, and I woke up, have eaten. I felt like I've eaten some Popeyes. I didn't know if I did, but I have a feeling. And like a back of my head, you know, back of my brain, sort of feeling that I have had Popeyes in my cocaine-fueled stupor, you know.
And what really helped inform you was that you also had the receipt that you looked at, and you were like, "Oh, I guess I got Popeyes."
Yeah, it's like a memento.
Like you etched it into your arm.
Yeah, it said, "Don't trust this on the don't trust him.
Don't eat the Popeyes."
On the receipt from Popeyes.
Yeah, don't touch the Popeyes. What the fuck did happen? What is going on?
It's pretty ironic that it had written "Don't eat the Popeyes" on the receipt from Popeyes, you know.
Yeah.
And I love Memento. I love to live a life like that, to be honest.
I've only seen it the one time, but I remember it being cool.
Do you think you would like fuck with yourself sometimes, and just like leave some like vague like non notes just to make yourself like have a bit of an adventure, like realizing.
Yeah, but I wouldn't get to experience it, and there would be the chance that it leads to a situation in which I'm when I'm back, I'm like really, really in a bad place, you know.
You know, that's the thing. It's like, you know, you gotta risk it sometimes, you know. Give yourself.
What if I'm
momentum.
like, I leave a note saying I peed the bed, oops, and then I'm like, I lose, I come back later, and I'm like burning my entire building down because I was like, I need to burn the sheets.
Yeah,
they're covered in pee.
Yeah,
I need to burn them.
Yeah, but they're dry.
And now my
It's
whole
like, so what
building's
does that
on
mean?
fire, and I'm like, oh, fuck. I shouldn't have said I peed the bed.
Yeah, you know,
I messed up.
But that's the thing, it's a risk or reward sort of thing, you know.
It's really not. I think it's literally no reward to it.
But it's like, you know, why do people pull pranks?
You
know?
don't prank yourself. Why would you prank you?
It's like it's like your perfect friend, you know, yourself, you know.
That's
You're
like the
pranking
evolution of the having
yeah,
sex with yourself
you're
conversation.
you're like,
hey, would you play a prank on yourself?
you're like your best friend, you know. You yourself are your best friend, so wouldn't you prank your best friend?
Dude,
you know?
be honest. If you had a clone of yourself, would you prank him? Be honest, dude. Be honest.
Do you think that clone
would you prank
version
your
of,
clone?
do you think that clone of you would he have known that you are pranking yourself because he's your clone and he thinks the same way you're thinking?
He would be pranking me back. You know?
But do you want to start that chain when you have a clone and you start that prank off, you know?
You start pranking each other off, yeah.
Yeah.
It's unavoidable, I think.
It's like a
because you both
forbidden
have the
fruit,
same
you know?
ideas. You're both having the same ideas.
Exactly, you know.
You'd be like pranking each other in the same way too. It
Yeah.
would be fun. You'd already know what's coming.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you'll be pranking yourself in the bedroom. You'll be pranking each other in the car. You know, you'll be pranking each other on the sofa. Or
Exactly.
You know, and then there's like no rest from the pranks. You know, and then
You're both just getting sore from all the pranks. You keep pulling on each other and nobody else.
It's
And
like,
everybody said, and there's the whole argument of like whether it's a masturbatory prank or not. You know?
yeah.
Or is it really a prank if it's yourself?
Yeah. And you're like, well, you know, I don't care. I'm pranking myself off.
I don't care.
I mean, I'm pranking him off.
I'm pranking me off, and he's pranking me off at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're having a prank off with each other, and with the same person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That sounds gay as hell, though. Is it gay to prank your clone?
No, I don't think so.
No?
No, I don't think so.
Hmm.
Do you think someone has like a clone and they don't know about it?
Yeah, well, yeah, they say everybody's got a doppelganger, right?
Mm-hmm.
You might just be walking around one day and you see you again.
Yeah.
Like looking in a mirror, and you're like,
yeah.
no! No!
But what if you what if you marry like your partner and then you do like DNA testing and it turns out they're your doppelganger that comes out in the DNA, you know? And it's like you're like, what do we do now?
Help me illustrate this scenario a bit more, okay? So you've met someone, you've had an entire relationship with them, and you feel so strongly infatuated with them, you want to get married and spend your life with them. And all the while, you don't notice at all that you both look and sound and act like each other, and have similar interests and tastes and such.
But it's like, you know, it's like that you both have that disorder that don't let you like read,
like face blindness.
Yeah, face blindness. Yeah, face blindness.
Right. Well, in that case, it would just have to be like, all right. Why would nobody have told me up until then?
Because you've been pranking each other off in your the place, and you kind of became
But nobody's
hermits.
ever seen us together.
Yeah, exactly. You know?
Nobody's ever seen us with each other. Is that what you're saying?
I like the idea of like you two don't realize that like everybody else thinks it's a one person, you know, because they only see one of you at a time.
They just think you finally snapped.
Yeah.
And you're like pretending to have a partner. You keep doing it. They just so happen to keep doing like the old like sitcom bit of like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. Get up. Other person comes in.
Yeah.
Oh, you just missed if they went to the bathroom. Oh. Yeah. Well, I better go and put more money in the parking machine.
The parking machine.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Oh, what a good piss that was. Hey, where's my partner? Oh, they just went to put more money in the machine. God damn it. I'm gonna go see
already
what's
done
taking
that.
this food so long.
Yeah.
Different outfit every time, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because you
Yeah.
both really are into like urban urban wear or whatever. You know.
Yeah.
You know.
Both really into urban wear.
Yeah.
That'd
You
be a
put
good
like
bit,
a
I
high
think.
vis on, you know.
And then the punchline is that they are actually different people. They're doppelgangers.
And they have face blindness,
Yeah,
so they
face
don't realize
blindness.
they're
It's a little bit high concept, but it's a funny subversion of expectations, I guess. I like it. I'm into it.
It's just whoever he is, that he's just like a fucking. They're gonna looper themselves.
Yeah. That's what I would really be worried about. Right, I'm gonna get loopered, and this is a long looper con.
I don't want to be complicit in someone else's loopering themselves.
I don't want to have to be the one loopering another
Imagine-
guy. I'll looper myself
Yeah.
just as easily as I'd prank myself, but I'm not gonna looper some other guy's clone.
Yeah.
Time
It's
clone. What are we talking about? What?
I started talking about Memento.
bro.
I think that's what.
Bro, I feel like
I've.
I've been rolling around in cocaine the way we're talking.
Yeah.
Bro, I've been
It's been-
feeling like I've been doing cocaine angels when we're
Yeah.
talking.
I like the idea of you take like drugs.
Yeah.
You think you're taking drugs, and then you put your hands up, like your palms to your eyes, and then you squish, and you go like, "Whoa!" They're really kicking in.
Bro, this is crazy. I can see all these colors for like 2 seconds. Wow. I'm gonna do it again.
You're just like
What would the street name for that be? Squeezing.
Squeeze.
Dude, I'm thinking of getting some people together and we're gonna squeeze tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna squeeze.
We're gonna
A long squeeze sesh, We're gonna have a long squeeze.
good session of squeezing.
And the police is like patrolling in a patrol car, driving around,
Shut up.
driving around, and they see like people like, oh, it's them squeezers.
Their eyes are just like red raw. And they're like, "You been squeezing, son?" No, officer.
No, of your business.
How many fingers am I holding up?
You can't see it. You
Can't see anything. 'Cause you squeezed so hard. 'Cause you've been squeezing. Ma'am, I'm sorry to say that your son's been squeezing in the school bathrooms. Not my Timmy.
They have it got so bad they had to install the anti-squeeze detectors in the school bathrooms.
They got anti-squeezing measures now.
Yeah, because the way
Every child at school has to wear goggles from now on. So you take the goggles off, then
it
your ass is
alarms.
toast.
It triggers the alarm triggers.
It's like a saw trap on your head. Just to stop you from being able to squeeze.
This anonymous squeezes.
Anonymous squeeze hotline. If you or a friend have been squeezing, call this for anonymous free advice.
Yeah. And you're like you're in an anonymous squeezers like
Squeezes
meeting.
anonymous. Yeah.
Squeezes anonymous, and you're like, well,
I just couldn't stop.
ever since my wife left me, I started squeezing.
I just had to squeeze. It was the only rush I could get my hands on.
The lowest I felt in my life has been when my 6-year-old son walked in on me squeezing.
I was in the middle of a 3-day squeeze binge. I just couldn't stop. Just had to keep going. And in walks my son, my palms digging into my eyes. And he says, "I want to try that too, Daddy. I want to try that too."
I learned watching you, Dad.
I learned it from watching you. Just rubbing his fist into his eyes like he's
instead of like the man with the golden arm, which is a guy about having it's a movie about a guy like addicted to heroin or morphine or whatever. It's a man with the golden eyeballs.
My squeezing years. Memoirs of a lifetime squeezer. The entirety of the Train Spotting movie, but they're squeezing instead of doing heroin.
What's that fucking guy? The journalist, the guy from like Love and Loathing from Las Vegas. He's like Hunter Thompson. Is that what he's called?
Hunter S. Thompson. Yeah.
And he's like, you know, like I've done cocaine, meth, crack, every drug under the sun. Never touch squeezing.
Never touch squeezing. Once you start, you just can't stop squeezing.
Stop.
And everything else pales in comparison to squeezing. Getting a good couple squeezes in.
Yeah.
Nothing beats the rush. Ooh. We love squeezing, don't we, folks? But we can't do it. We can't squeeze.
Yeah.
We will not stop. That famous quote of the guy who tried squeezing for the first time, and he said, "This is going to be a problem." Dude, I think we can get squeezing off the ground.
Yeah.
See, what the government needs to do is introduce squeezing legally and heavily tax it.
Yeah, exactly.
Make squeezing parlors.
In a squeezing shop, you know.
Let's have a squeeze.
You buy yourself.
All these kids getting killed on the street of a squeezing. The government could put a stop to this if they even cared. Fucking Rishi Sunak doesn't give a fuck about our kids dying from squeezing.
I like the idea of like your palms don't do it for you anymore, so you have to get other people to use their hands to squeeze your eyes.
Dude, I just can't anymore. I've tried balling my hands up. I've been doing my palms. I've done I've done the knuckle of my thumb. Yeah, I've tried everything.
I build up resistance.
Man. Dude, I'm building up too much of a squeezing resistance. I can't do it anymore. I gotta do it just to feel normal.
It's not a problem. I squeeze every day.
Squeezing is actually the most natural substance that you can, most natural action you can do. It's healthy, in fact.
You see squeezing in H everywhere, and it shows like a footage of a gorilla like there's like it's been in our humans' history, and it's like, you know,
people
you got
have
like
squeezed all throughout time.
You have like a medieval manuscript.
People just rubbing their eyes.
Rubbing their eyes.
People have been squeezing since Henry VIII. Probably even further before that.
Yeah, there's cave paintings. There's people squeezing. There's like a Egyptian hieroglyph where it's like an eye, a hand, and it goes towards the eye or something like that.
Eye, bold hand.
Yeah. Oh my fucking god.
Teens are using this emoji texting language to secretly talk about squeezing without their parents knowing. Eyeball emoji, fist emoji, eye drop emoji, sweat drop emoji.
This is a episode of fucking like some like Dog the Bounty Hunter or some other bullshit where they're busting like a illegal drug, like not drug, squeeze lab.
Shield.
Squeeze. Yeah,
a Shield revival season.
Yeah. They've been
the Lost Mags are starting a squeezing ring and trying to introduce it to the elementary school children. You make me sick. Aceveda isn't doing anything about the squeezers out on the street.
So ever since they decriminalized squeezing, squeezers are all over the place.
Mackie, I know you've been taking a cut of the squeezing ring out there. We need that squeezing money to take squeezers off the street.
I can't.
It's part of the squeezing strike force.
The squeezing cartel has been.
The squeeze cartel has made their way into New Mexico.
And the ironic
pushing
part,
the meth game out.
The ironic part is that then they started mixing the squeezing with fentanyl, and people start dying.
Yeah, please, before you squeeze, always check your hands for fentanyl. Get a fentanyl testing kit and test your hands before you start squeezing, please. We have lost too many people. You will receive no judgment if you just go to a safe squeezing clinic and ask for a fentanyl kit. You'll get no judgment. If you're going to do it, just do it safely.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Oh, no.
If you're gonna do it, if you're gonna squeeze safely.
Yeah.
That's the motto.
Yeah, it's like there, you know? It's like squeeze, but it's squeeze is an acronym, you know? So it's like stop. I can't fucking do it.
And that will be the end of society, because there's no way to wean somebody off of squeezing. It's like jacking off. It's just like you can't just not jack off.
Yeah. No,
your hand's
you
right there.
No, you just put a chastity belt on.
What are you gonna do? Like put the goggles?
Yeah,
it's just push you just push the goggles into your eyes, and it has the same effect.
Yeah.
If anything, it's worse because it then creates like more of a suction around the eyes.
I know how. I know.
How do you stop these teens from squeezing?
This is anti-squeezing technology that I'm creating to battle for. The governments of the world are relying on this anti-squeezing technology that I'm inventing. It's like a glove that you put on, and it's like you get like a micro Steve hand, so you can't, and it's just a flat surface, so you can't put it. You can, you know what I mean? Because it's a flat surface. That doesn't
make any. But it has to have edges, right?
Yeah, exactly. But the edges don't feel as good, you know.
It doesn't matter if they don't feel as good.
It's just
anything that'll work will do. Yeah.
Anything. Make them really long, so you can't like point them at your face. You know. Oh no, you do. You still have edges. Yeah.
You got edges.
Yeah.
That's the
fuck. Issue. No, you just put those big finger like foam gloves on.
Yeah.
And that's how you.
Yeah, that really dilutes it, but there's still a bit, you know.
There's still a bit.
And
you just chop people's hands off, you know, or something like that.
No. I know what it is.
Uh-huh.
Cones.
Cones?
Yeah. So you know how like you got horse blinders?
Uh-huh.
Put those around the eyes, so they're just like these long cones.
Oh, I get it. And you have like a little tiny,
your peripherals are fucked. No, not like a convex cone.
Converse
cone.
Converse cone.
So it's like they're like it lowers your peripheral vision, but you try and get something in there, it's going to be difficult because the you can't get something to your eyes. Get stuck in the cone. Anyway,
there's people putting like a pen in just to get a little bit.
That's the issue. Yeah, that's the issue, because any measure to try and stop it just kind of incentivizes more dangerous ways to get it.
To do it, yeah, exactly.
Which is why you need safe squeezing.
You need safe squeezing.
You need a safe squeezing center, and you ask for a fentanyl kit and some cotton gloves.
Yeah,
and you'll get no judgment.
And then the nurse will apply the squeezing for you instead of so you don't share palms with other share.
You don't want to share hands when you're squeezing, because you're gonna get an eye infection.
Yeah, you're gonna get pink eye.
You're gonna get pink eye. Anyway, thanks for listening. This has been great. Hope you've loved learning about the brand new it's not a drug act, I guess, that's hitting the streets. Squeezing.
Illegal act.
This is a PSA. Please don't squeeze, and if you are going to squeeze safely at a squeeze center. Safe squeeze center. There should be one near you. If not, get in touch with your local political leaders and demand a safe squeezing center.
Yeah. Exactly.
It is available for anybody who needs it. Would be they young, old, housed, unhoused.
You go on www.squeeze.co.gov.
That's SKWEEZ squeeze.gov.
Yeah.
.uk. And it's got a lot of pamphlets there. You can talk to your children about it.
Yeah.
Safe squeezing.
Oh, I imagine all those fucking diagrams in those fucking parts. How squeezing affects your brain on squeeze or something. It just shows your eyeballs like being all like fucked.
What makes it better as well is that it's like literally lasts like 2 seconds. You see like the light like colors for 2 seconds and then you're doing it again.
It's like
literally the worst you can ever experience. Dude, squeezing would go crazy in Salt Lake City with all the Mormons.
Yeah, definitely. Because they love like the worst version of things.
Yeah, because they can't do any other drugs.
They can't do anything else, but they can do like the worst version of like sex, where they do soaking. They'll do like the worst version of drugs, which is squeezing. Soaking, squeezing.
It's like getting high.
Yeah,
kind of. Feels good.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Yeah.
Anyway, this has been Dead Ensigns. Your number one squeezing informational podcast. I'm Ben. This is Max. We got YouTube. Check it out. Leave a comment. Leave your squeezing horror stories. Did you like? Hey friend, can you help me squeeze? I really want to get a squeeze in before I go to work, so I can feel normal, you know. And then they bring their hand up, and it's like covered in doo-doo, but you're like so desperate for a squeeze that you accept it anyway. You're so desperate for a squeeze and your own hands just aren't doing it anymore, so you accept it. Any story like that, let us know. You can also email us, deadensigns@gmail.com or deadensigns@squeeze.gov. Don't do that one's not real. And we're on Twitter too. And yada yada yada. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Don't squeeze.
It's shorted out, sir. We're gonna have to phaser it.
Then what are you waiting for?
Right away, sir.
Faster would be better, Ensign.
I can't, sir. We don't want to...
That's enough.
But, sir...
Stand aside, Carlton. I'm going through. You're alive. Good.